Hello everyone. What does it mean to have a diverse organization and why does it matter? These and other questions were the focus of this past module where we applied the cultural intelligence framework to an organization that you are familiar with. I hope that by now you have a good sense for thinking about your own CQ components and have had a chance to reflect on what your assessment not only means for you professionally, but personally. The next step, of course, is to focus on specific things that you will do in order to improve your own cultural intelligence. And that will be the focus of your second paper, which you'll turn in at the end of next week. I'll discuss some aspects of that paper in a bit, but for now, let's look back at this past week. You had a chance to apply the CQ components of drive, knowledge, action, and strategy, drive, knowledge, strategy, and action, to your own setting. And each of you did a fine job of taking something from the individual dimension to the organizational one. Beyond your evaluation of your organization's CQ, you went one step further and integrated leadership theory into the discussion. The three theories to choose from were trait, skills, and behavioral. Each of these skills you examined in LDRD 606, and each one has specific characteristics. Now, depending upon which you chose, its impact on CQ was ultimately about what the leader needs to do or what he or she needs to possess in order to address cultural intelligence. Some of you discussed the need for more training on part of the leaders. Some discuss the communication style of the leader or how a leader would behave around certain groups. All of these answers were valid, as the truth was that all these styles can intersect in some way. The point was that you had the opportunity to synthesize ideas together to come up with a new way of viewing things. Remember that synthesis involves taking one idea or theory, discussing briefly, and then taking a different idea or theory and combining the two and coming up with something novel and innovative. That is the heart of synthesis and an important skill in doctoral study. You'll do more synthesis in the next module, by the way. Moving on from organizational CQ, you were introduced to the concept of the diversity scorecard. This was a tool that can be used to give a holistic picture of the diversity in an organization. The diversity scorecard examines 6 specific areas. Those areas are financial impact, diverse customer community partnerships, workplace profile, workplace climate culture, diversity leadership commitment, and finally, learning and growth. Each area of the scorecard has an important question that leaders can ask regarding their organization's overall diversity strategy. In addition, the scorecard helps leaders begin to assess specific targets, goals, and initiatives that they can work on. Overall, it's a great tool for any organization and one that can be used at any time. I would encourage you to refer to the diversity scorecard from time to time and see how your organization's efforts are going. In our next module, we'll continue to build on our conversation on organizational diversity and integrate more leadership models into our discussions. In addition, you'll be introduced to some theorists that I find most intriguing, namely Hofstede, Eden and Leviathan, Gooden, and Kostenbaum. Each of their contributions has played a major part in the overall cultural competence literature. Some of the concepts you'll find quite familiar, so enjoy the discussion. Now, at the end of next week, you'll submit your second assignment, the Cultural Intelligence Development Plan, which is essentially your personal development plan based on your CQ scores. In some ways, it's going to be similar to your discussions, though I do not want just a cut and paste of your discussion posts, but rather a further exposition. That is, go deeper. There will invariably be a question on the table format in Part C of the assignment. Basically, this table will be in addition to the text of your paper and will include actions and timelines. One way to do this is to have a column for each CQ score, a column for your plan, which are the action steps, and a column for deadlines and timelines. What I don't want you to do is don't make it too big, but highlight the key action points that you're going to take. Remember, of course, to format the table according to APA style. One additional comment that I received was on whether the paper is first or third person. While the instructions do not say which one, I encourage you to try the third person. The reason for this is that writing in third person for something that you did, like your assessment, is good practice for writing later down the road. By writing later down the road, I'm referring to your dissertation. Again, it's not required to write in third person, but if you do, great. If you want to write in first person, then I say that's fine. But remember, keep consistent throughout the document. That's key. This means do not switch back and forth. So stick to one tense for the entire document, whether it's first or third. You choose. I'll have more notes and tips for the paper next week and offer an optional collaborate session, likely on Thursday at lunchtime for anyone interested. Again, more on this in the intro announcement, but for now, and as we have every week, continue to post on the threads through Sunday, and I will see you all online.